can you get your other phone and like
and do it?
Send out the live. Okay. We're having such a good discussion. Hey guys, we're so sorry.
We back. I don't know what happened. We have a technical difficulty.
We are coming so right sorry.
Back. But we are back. We are here. Okay.
Thank you, Brother Greatness, for joining. We are so sorry. Welcome back, guys. Welcome
we back. Brother Greatness is laughing. Yeah, technical difficulty. We are coming right back. Jess.
Welcome back.
Hey. Yes, this Amber Alert is like killing us. Hopefully they find that child though.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm probably gonna edit that part out about me saying the Amber Alert's killing us. But go back. Viacom was like, yo, they're trying to silence us. Viacom was like, yo, they're talking too much. It was like, yo, do that.
Facts, that never happened before.
Yeah, as soon as we start talking about like Viacom and who really owns BET and keeping the black dollar within the black community, shit just cut off. What? Nah, man.
Like I was saying, that's what Malcolm X was saying. The black dollar doesn't stay in the black community as long as any other race.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys for coming back.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. You guys are the best. Like we were walking through the Jewish community yesterday, and I was like, we should be like them.
Yeah. For some people know, some people don't know. I grew up close to Hasidic Jewish Williamsburg, which is a very nice neighborhood. Peaceful people as far as I know. I grew up like walking through there and running through there to like get to like the Williamsburg Bridge and cross over and walk back. I used to do this in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's a nice neighborhood just to be in. And that is the like perfect example of like community. And like as our good sister Coco Cheerios said, like their dollar has to circulate 6 times within their community before it leaves.
They have their own literally everything is theirs, probably except for what banks, because there's a Chase down there, but everything in their community is for them. There's supermarkets, their restaurants, their dry cleaners, their buildings. Like, literally everything. Have you seen a cop go into that community? No.
No. Police, they drive through there, but they don't actually have
to
do anything.
Ever.
But, so I was going to say, like, as far as, like, the black dollar staying within the black community, so let's say it's Friday. Like, it's Friday. It is payday. Many of us, especially as like us, like who live on our own, especially those of us who have families, we get paid. The first thing we do is we have to go shopping for supplies at home. The first store I stop at to buy these supplies. This is not a black-owned store in my neighborhood. I don't believe there is. If there's a black-owned supermarket over here, if there's a black-owned supermarket in this neighborhood, it's newer. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it. But I know the Key Food over here is like Middle Eastern owned. The Metropolitan over here is Latinx owned. The Food Town over here is Latinx owned. But to have a black owned supermarket around here, I'm not exactly sure. Okay. Nick Shin said the thing is they have their own things around the neighborhood, like you said earlier about Chinese liquor store, etc. We don't have our stuff around us. If we do, it's dumb expensive. Also, you have to remember, like these businesses are trying to turn a profit, and due to discriminatory practices, they're probably paying more from the vendors that supply them than their counterparts would. That is also
because they're a black-owned business.
Because they're black. That is systemic racism. That is systemic racism, disenfranchisement at its finest. Brother Andre Encore said the problem starts with our community too. Everyone nowadays wants to compete with one another on who owns the most designer products, which is not keeping the dollar within the community.
Mm-hmm,
Yes,
for sure.
like, bro. If I can quote the good brother Jesse Williams, who is Dr. Jackson something on Grey's Anatomy. We already know who this is. So he said, we went from people who literally had our backs branded to now we fight to have these other people's brands on our backs. And it's one of the most disappointing like things like that. Hearing that hit me like so hard. Yeah. Since we spoke about it like in my high school days where like I bought like expensive shit, like designer shit just to like fit in. But it's just like we all fight so hard, and it's just like, bro, like you have like, I don't see the point in like having like a Versace shirt and like Gucci shoes, and you like the steps that lead into your house are like broke and you can't afford to fix them. There's piss in like the hallway in your apartment building. You're on the bus, like I don't like, bro, like if you can afford to buy a Gucci, if you can afford to buy one Gucci outfit every month, you can afford a car.
Facts.
Which you can use to start your own delivery service. If you can do that, you can rent a U-Haul, like not every day, like once a week. You can start your own delivery service that way. That's another way we meant to enterprise. We gonna get into that. Cool.
I feel like people don't realize, and but because those brands aren't cool, as Andre was saying, there's other black designers, but because they're not cool and like people don't want them, they just want to fit in, they just want to be part of the hype, and what is it really getting you? Nowhere. Cool.
So may I jump in here?
Yeah.
The sentiments. I don't want to cut you off. So I want to say, because you said like these other like black designers aren't like considered cool, and I'm gonna put the book to the side for that one. Okay, black people are the largest consumers, definitely in this country. That may also be worldwide. As far as like consumership, if I'm using the right word, black people spend on average $1 trillion a year. That's our money going out into the world. All of these designers, all of these record label executives, all of these movie people, they market to us. That is why when these label executives, it doesn't matter who the artist is, that is why a Ariana Grande, to switch up her style, she started dating Big Sean. She started working with Nicki Minaj. That is why, I don't even know the girl's name, but I was disappointed in it too, that like Method, like they gave up the sample for Method for Wu-Tang Clan's Cream, and Method Man's on the remix of it with some little other girl. That is why Cardi B is able to do songs with Maroon 5, because they need our audience. They need our consumership. They need our black dollar. We decide what is cool. Mm-hmm. Like, black culture is pop culture. Whatever we say is cool, that is what is cool. Whatever wave we are going to ride with, that is whatever wave we ride. Whatever wave, we form the wave. We don't even ride it. Like, I'm just throwing that out there now. And I want to thank you guys for being so active out there and so engaging with us and each other. Oh, you got right there. Coach just said, I don't think people should be shamed for enjoying luxury if you can't attain it. No, you shouldn't. No, so not enjoying if you can't attain it. But also, I just feel like your foundation should also be solid. Like, as you said earlier, you shouldn't be wearing a Gucci belt at the bus stop.
Or like Andre was saying, your utilities cut off and you were in Balenciaga.
Oh, I was behind, so I got. So she got.
That was like lately. But continue. It's okay.
Talia Jeanette said, nobody also wants to help. Imagine asking someone how to get started or what they did to get started. They make it seem like you asked for a kidney. I've seen it at work, wrestling, and just trying to get, yeah. I'm just trying to get branded. Black people never want to help each other. That's why we go to other brands and people.
And I feel like that really hurts us. Like, we should be able to help each other out. We shouldn't have to seek outside sources to like just get a foot in the door or just start. What happened?
I fucks with Maroon 5. They've been dope. Yes, man. So there's one I want to. So I think like, as far as Talia Jeanette said that that's like as far as support like black people not want to help each other. So first things first, like you are interesting. Yeah, you have to Yeah, so I'm just gonna say you have squares in your circle then. Like you are around the wrong people. I'm gonna throw it out there. Like I don't like to like pat myself on the shoulder. I'm just gonna say like you need more people like me and Lachey where we are still working on ourselves. We don't even have like all the clues. We don't have all the pieces. But with every like little piece of the puzzle that I get,
we share.
I'm putting the next person on. Yeah. So I'm just saying like audit your circle, see who needs to go.
Yeah.
That's one. And then also I think black people have like it's well documented that we have like the little crab in the bucket mentality. Was like there are some people that are there was just like, hey, I haven't made it out. I don't see why you can make it out. Or like they're trying to like hold you back. And also some people don't like competition. But that's insecurity within them. And it's just like, hey, some people think that there's not a lot of room for you at the top. There's not a lot of room for everyone at the top. I will always respect Master P for this. I love Master P. Where Master P, I think this is like late 90s, early 2000s, where he was going to expand No Limit and like move it out of New Orleans in the South and go to California, where in the entertainment business, whereas California and New York are the hubs, where Atlanta is one of the hubs for entertainment now. So when he was moving to California, as we know, this is West Coast. It's Suge Knight's territory. So business is like buzzing, rumors buzzing. Suge Knight called Master P and said, hey, I heard you're moving to California. There's not enough room for me, you, and Diddy out here. So Master P was like, so when are you moving? Because I'm coming. There has to be enough space out there for me. There's houses available. Like, I was like, and for that, I always respect Master P for just seeing a crab like Suge Knight where everyone else is like scared of him, just being like, nah, the F is you talking about. I'll always respect that. But I will say that, sis, just audit your circle. First things first. If there's people who out there that you see winning, but they don't want to see you win, you got to keep these people out of there. Like, I'll say that. Can't pay for the bus. Y'all still going off on like people wearing Gucci at the bus stop out there?
I do it so you can be like there.
But let's stop just grouping each other together. We aren't a monolith. Just because a few people didn't help doesn't mean no one won't help. It's about finding the right people. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to find more people like this group here. I believe we have a good group here where... So I'm proud of like my group. Like, we have us. I'm able to hit up Sir Wilkins from the Jobberteers Network for advice when I need it. Our good brother Big Hodge from Big Hodge Media. It's one of my inspirations for like spoke life into me. It was like, hey, you have a voice, you have what you say, you have like something to say. Get out there and say it, and that's how like I ended up starting this. Where it's just like, yeah, like audit your circle. Whoever doesn't belong in there, get them out. Whoever doesn't want to see you win, definitely get them people away from you.
Get them scissors. Cut them off.
Oh, that's why I stopped asking. So it's hence I stopped asking for help with a lot of shit. I'd rather grind and figure it out on my own. I'm not gonna say don't stop asking for help. You have to look for better people.
Yeah.
Like,
because there are gonna be people who are out there who are actually willing to help, and it just sucks that it's hard to find those type of people. But they're gonna be out there.
Yeah. So we have discussed.
Whatever.
Oh, just so I want to. There we go. Just so it makes it into the take, because since Viacom shut us down, I'm gonna reread the importance of Blak being Black owned and helping closing the racial wealth gap. So bear with me as we go through this one more time. So I gotta make sure. Hopefully they don't cut us off again.
Son, no.
I'm start talking about building like the Black community, and they gonna cut us off again. Like, we gotta, our good sister Living Sagittarius is in here. Lone Wolf, what's up? So closing the racial wealth gap. The racial wealth gap is considered to date back to the Jim Crow era, but when you think about it, it dates back to 1619, the beginning of slavery. That is 246 years of forced unpaid labor, only to be followed by redlining, job discrimination, land and home ownership discrimination, and exclusion from the 1935 Social Security Act. According to greenamerica.org, the median wealth for Caucasian families is 12 times that of Black families. Black women are among the most educated groups, but a Black woman with a master's degree makes 64 cents for every dollar a Caucasian man makes with that same degree, according to a 2016 U.S. Census Bureau survey. Owning your own business not only allows you to set your own wage, but you can bar these discriminating practices from our community and help others. Viacom, let us get that one through. Thanks, other people. And so what was in there? Not everyone really wants to learn; they just want to do it for play. Again, we spoke on that like earlier when I was like, whatever business venture you're getting into, whatever, like, you have to make sure that you are going 100% balls to the wall. Mm-hmm. If you have partners, if you're in like a group of people that are supposed to be like learning together, growing together, doing whatever y'all gotta do together, yeah, make sure all these same people are on that same type of time. That's why, it's no shame that, like, no secret, not secret. It's no surprise that, like, I'm with her. Like, she's young, she's hungry. This is why I always surround myself with, like, younger people. They're young, they're hungry, and, like, I'm older. They're not as bitter as I am. Where I know that, like, Andre Encore has, like, a fire in him. Ashay the EP has a fire in her. Where I know these are people who are younger, like, they probably, I'm not an old man, but they probably know how to use social media and market better than I would. Because it's not like they had to, like, unlearn the things that I had to unlearn, where I grew up with, like, dial-up. And, like, I have a certain way of, like, using this technology. And then, like, I also keep people like Sir Wilkins around me, who's older than me, who has knowledge that is helpful to me. But the bottom line is, like, these people want to grow and see others grow. So audit your circle. Also, buy Gucci if you want to. Pay your bills first, though.
No, Talia Dead said something, and it was funny because she was like, because it's a flex. I have to find it. Oh. Can't pay for the bus, but you got them new J's. You know why? Hashtag because it's a flex.
What else needs to be read?
Nick, I guess about gimmicks.
Oh, we're not talking about wrestling.
Okay, that's it.
Alright, so not my favorite. Closing the racial wealth gap was my favorite. Actually, it's generational wealth is my favorite. But I guess close second is building the local economy.
Which we kind of were talking about earlier before we got cut off by Viacom.
Yeah. So I will say 48% of small business purchases are recirculated locally compared to only 14% by chain stores. That's Black businesses supporting other Black businesses in the neighborhood. Community investments go both ways. You frequent the local Black supermarket. The supermarket donates to the local church for food drives. A thriving Black-owned bank is more capable of issuing small business loans for other members of the community. A 2017 study by the National Community Reinvestment Coalition showed that other banks were 2 times as likely to provide business loans to Caucasian applicants than Black applicants. A little taste of the non-existence of systemic racism that seems to be trendy in 2020. Yes, we touched on this like earlier on like us investing into these businesses and the businesses investing back into the community. But there was more that I want to touch on though, where it's not just like, hey, we support the black supermarket supports the black church and gives the donations for like food. Imagine if we can, through the entrepreneurs in the neighborhood coming together, imagine if we could just build our own black owned parks in our neighborhood, where we wouldn't have to worry about the city maintaining it. There'll be a fund set up for it where we can maintain it ourselves.
Or community centers.
Yes. Imagine if we can start education. My bad, I keep getting kicked off. Sorry, but welcome back. So like education. So what I thought was really dope, which is also, I'm going to bring up Killer Mike again, because he was talking about living in Atlanta, where he lives in like the wealthy part. So I think he said 5 Caucasian families bought like half the block, a block over from him. And for their children, they started a Montessori school for private education, where all their kids just go to one school together. They have a teacher hired, and they get to work with like the city or the state to control the curriculum, what their children wants to learn, where they can actually learn actual American history, not the commercialized and watered down version of American history that is fed to public school children.
With the pyramid with a
yeah, where they are not, overworked, where the teacher isn't overworked, where the school can actually provide supplies for their children because the school is run by these children's parents. Well, imagine if we could, like, what else can we do in this school? Imagine if we could fund our own politicians.
Yep. Oh yeah, we were talking about this earlier today.
Yeah, where like all these big businesses and big corporations are the ones that fund these politicians' campaign and get them to the big dance.
Yeah.
Where, imagine if it's just like, hey, where like their bottom line is their money. And if they know that they're funded by black-owned businesses, even if they're not black, I hope that we be supporting black politicians. They'd be more inclined to make the people who put the money in their pockets happy.
Of course, because that's where their money is. That's where it's coming from.
And there's just so much within our community that we can do if we just supported each other more.
Mm-hmm. I think Ben said earlier that I think it was Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know somebody said it earlier, money is power. And
that was Brother Greatness.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Brother Greatness said money is power. And I feel like at the end of the day, that's where it all matters. Imagine you go back to learning about grassroots, the ability to network and lobby. Yep.
Brother, do you want to elaborate on that? So I think you'd be able to elaborate better on that than we would. But I believe that's just like going door to door like Aaron Burr was. And just like going around to like collecting community support. But if you wouldn't mind elaborating. Use the funds. Grassroots just like the community building the community. Mm-hmm. Instead of having, this is what the Jewish people do. Mm-hmm. And I don't say, hopefully no one believes like I'm saying Jewish as like a slur.
Right.
We don't do that here.
Yeah, no.
It's a people that we respect. Black associations. Yeah.
Black associations.
Block associations, yes. There we go. Things like that. Nixon said, I see no reason why we can't do that, not just as the people, but black celebrities should be able to accumulate the millions needed to become a proper candidate. But do these celebrities have political aspirations though?
True.
As we can see, like, Cardi B does use her platform to give the spotlight to politicians. AOC, Tamika D. Mallory, who we were just watching earlier, give her thoughts on Daniel Cameron, the Attorney General in Kentucky, where Breonna Taylor's life was taken. And I know he doesn't have any black backers. Like the people who funded his campaign to become Attorney General. Or was that something you appointed? Attorney General? Yeah.
I think you are appointed. I'm not sure. I had a thought and I forgot what it was.
Yes. Good brother Scribe Ben, to not piggyback, but to help out with Coco Cheerio, said a couple of Black Lives Matter activists were elected to Congress with very little funding through grassroots efforts. Yes, like we need like black. I don't even think we have. I know, like in my neighborhood, we did have a black association here. I don't even remember like block parties getting done. But like, yeah, imagine if we can like.
Oh, I remember now.
Funds field trips for schools and get them out of this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also it was pointed out that celebrities like use their platform and like let's take LeBron James, because he built a school for the children from where he's from. Where he's from, Cleveland?
Akron, Ohio.
Ohio, okay, from Ohio. And when he speaks out about the racial injustices and inequalities, whatever that's happening in America, you know, he's told, shut up and dribble. You're just an athlete. Like, I feel like people have to remember that just because they have this stature and this status, that they're still people as well, and they still have a voice. And yeah, okay, they're not obligated to speak, but if they do, it's helpful. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's like, I get what you're saying. It's not like they're like few and far between. We do have like the Cardi B's that do this.
Yeah, for sure.
LeBron Jameses, I believe.
And I think
we're on another live.
And I think it's important that in the black community, we take back our education, because I feel like we're not being taught. When I was in school, I wasn't taught nothing.
So, to elaborate on her point, and like what we said earlier, Coco Cheerio said to rebuild the community from the bottom up. There's also a lot of black distrust amongst their community, each other, and people in general. A few bad apples truly spoiled the bunch for us. That's how we push our businesses to succeed. It's all interconnected. Yeah, so like, I do think like at least black associations need to return to prominence, where there is a lot of distrust within the black community. But if we could all like just have like associations, committees of people that are committed to like keeping the peace, mm-hmm. and like building without the blood drenched politics that take place in like other cultures. How much further we can get, where like even things like street beef can be like derailed, where we don't have to see that much bloodshed, where there's like something like, I always thought it was dope wherever it was like, where if you watch The Wire and like season 3 and 4, Cuddy opened a boxing gym in the neighborhood, and whoever had beef can just come there and fight. That was it. And y'all don't have to shoot at each other on the street. Whoever don't like each other, y'all just come there and fight. If y'all want to see who's bad, who's really the man. I always thought that was like dope.
Nah, because sometimes if you lose, you still get.
Yeah, you still get shot for losing. But then also, like, if we were able to just fund our own community centers,
right?
How much closer would we be as a community?
Exactly.
No, all my fitters is all my ball covers just fell behind me. It was like, yeah. But
Living Sagittarius said, not true. I work in a low income neighborhood with most students being minority, and my students have 3 black teachers, and education is not taken serious. We need to be educated, but we need to relearn the value.
Confused as to...
No, because I spoke about education.
Oh, what'd you say? we echo. So Living Sagittarius, we echo this same sentiment that you just said earlier. So my memory is bad. I don't know what she just said, but we actually just said the same thing you said a little earlier. I think it's in part 1 of this episode. Correct?
I don't know. No, but I just spoke about education, that we need to take it back. Like, we need to be able to, like, teach ourselves and, like, have that value.
Yeah.
Because we're not really taught what we should be be taught.
Okay, so the bottom line is we're actually all on the same page. Because she said, like, not true, and then went. So I don't know what was. I don't know what wasn't true. But we are all on the same page as far as it goes to, like, funding our own education within our community. I beg parents to invest in their children's education. Yes. But, like, imagine, like, there's no funding, there's not city or state or government funding for education here, as we already know, as we spoke about in, like, our back to school episode. Education gets cut in our city, got cut in New York, and you know, black neighborhoods, Hispanic neighborhoods are the first to see the effects of those budget cuts.
Yeah, but she's asking parents to fund.
Yeah, so that's what I wasn't done. There we go. So we need that funding, and if we had like block associations where we can like pool this in the community, that would be better. Because as like a single solo parent, as we already said, mostly, as I said like earlier, like most of our households within the black community are headed by black women, where they are the head of household, and maybe not the sole breadwinner, but most likely they are the breadwinner, and they are financially disenfranchised through racial wealth gaps. So there's already a financial strain on just like, hey, just funding this child's life, period. And then like, if they like, most of our children are in public school, we expect like that's supposed to take some of the strain off of us. But it's just like, if we can like set up other ways to do this, you better. Where it's like, imagine if like your local supermarket or your local 99-cent store could just do back to school drives every year. Just give out backpacks, give out notebooks, pens, pencils. I'm not sure what a child needs in 2020 going back to school.
A tablet.
And a tablet and iPad. Things like that.
Nixon said they're changing the curriculum, though. We gotta get on that before anything.
Yes.
We gotta teach the truth about the first slave ships coming to America.
Yeah. Also, it was like one of the benefits of like private school, like homeschooling, Montessori school. You work with like the state or the city on your curriculum. Where it's just like there are basic points that you have to hit and that you have to meet. They do spend their time learning, like, not for the most part, but like you get a say in the curriculum.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us, especially as, you know, blacks, like, we need to know and we need to learn that our history didn't start when we came to America.
Yes. We didn't start when they landed in Africa either. As I said earlier, we came. As I said earlier, we came from kings and queens, and we need to hear more of those stories.
Living Sagittarius, I'm pretty sure the city's education is different from upstate, and I'm pretty sure down here in the city is trash compared to upstate.
Probably.
It's like we're two different states, honestly.
And this is my last point. I just detailed all of my favorite benefits on the importance of supporting black businesses. So on the point, Montessori is actually great. I've been implementing Montessori concepts and raising my son. He's only 3 months old.
Oh, wow.
See, right there. Montessori schools are great. Well, I'm going to tap in with you because I would like to start that in my own community. I'm like, it's a little tangent right now. Especially like when you have like an entrepreneurial spirit, you're going to have a bunch of goals. You're going to have a bunch of aspirations. You can never dream too big. Did you say that like, would you ask like, were you being too ambitious about something?
Oh yeah, yesterday I was like telling him that I wanted to do so much, and I'm like, maybe I'm being too ambitious.
And it's like, no, you can never be too ambitious. If you set out to accomplish like 10 goals, if you just get 7 of those done, that is great. You can never be too ambitious. You can never dream of accomplishing too much when there are 24 hours in the day for everybody. You can do it. And you can never be too ambitious. Oh, next say, I follow a few black parents on IG who implement Montessori concepts with their children. I can leave their handles. Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll tap in. Well, I'll get them from you. We'll tap in. We'll post them for everybody.
Yeah. DM them. Don't put them in here though, because I don't know how to save them.
Yeah, we don't know how to save them, so we'll just DM them. Well, I'll tap in with you. Since we're talking about the youth, their education, we want to put as much knowledge in their heads as possible. Let's talk about putting money in their pockets. As parents, aunties, and uncles, and OGs, we try our best to impart as much wisdom, morals, and tender loving care on our youth as possible. It's the right thing to do. It's honorable. But it doesn't always pay the bills. It's time we as a community adopt the tactics of others and pass down deeds and dealerships. Family businesses that they can grow to love and take over, or even just use as a plan B. Master P, Will Smith, Ice Cube, and many others are giving us the blueprint on how to pass down and build legacies. Watching their movies and listening to their music is cool, but let's all take their master classes as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk about generational wealth.
I was telling him real quick before you jump in. I saw an article that somebody wrote on, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and how he has his Terramana tequila company, and he said he wanted a legacy to leave for his children, and I'm like, that right there is extremely important, because he's creating something to leave to his children that they can continue to keep growing and open for their children as well.
Yeah. Can I jump in? I want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Alright, so kind of like saying this out loud, y'all hearing this probably gonna sound like wrong and kind of like controversial. I just ask you to bear with me. So I don't really believe white privilege is a problem, because the privilege is not the problem. It's the lack of empathy that is the problem. Where they can't take a second look in the mirror and realize how well that they've got it just by looking a certain way, and coming from a certain place, than people of color. So the privilege is not the problem, because privilege is something that we should all want to pass down to all of our children.
Yeah.
I want to have privileged kids. I want my kids to be bougie. I want them to know what it's like to go on vacation every 6 months. I want them to know what it's like to not have to work through their teenage years, where they can just relax, do their schoolwork, work on hobbies, have fun with their friends on the weekends without having to worry about, hey, how am I going to get these new Jordans? How am I going to afford them? Should I get a job for them? No, just get good grades and you're good. I want to myself to not have to worry about going to college and wondering if it's going to be paid for, or working through college. Mm-hmm. And having a hard time keeping up with their grades because they only have an hour a night to study, because they have an 8-hour shift that they get off at midnight after work. We should all hope to pass down privilege to our kids, but we should also hope to pass down empathy. That's my problem with white privilege. It's just the lack of empathy. But we should all hope to pass down privilege. But also the key word here in other communities, it's a tactic that hasn't been adopted in our community yet. Nepotism. You know what nepotism is? I'm asking.
Explain to the class.
Nepotism. Explain to the class. Nepotism. Nepotism is basically like, hey, I own this company. I own this company. My son's taking it over. That's nepotism. Oh, hey, I'm the president of this company. I'm gonna get my daughter a job here as the manager because I can, and one day she's gonna take my place. That's nepotism, where you've built so much for yourself, like a legacy for yourself, or like ownership for yourself, and these are things that you can just pass down. Which is where, one day Little Romeo can take over No Limit Records. I'm pretty sure No Limit has grown from way past a record label at this point. Maybe 20 years from now, we'll see Blue Ivy as an executive at Rock Nation.
Or title.
Or title. There we go.
You mean the McMahon family?
Yes. So Nick Shin says, "You do? I mean the McMahon family." I mean exactly that. I was dead gonna say it, but I didn't want to like bring it up because like they're not of this culture. But like, yes, exactly, the McMahon family, where Shane.
Excuse me.
I think in like 2009, 2010, Shane McMahon actually left WWE and went and like started like, I believe, a marketing or like an MMA company with like other people.
Yeah.
And then like after in like 2015, 2016, he had sold all his shares and just came back. Yeah. How would you like to like be so comfortable? It's like, hey, I'm gonna go start a business. It's not, oh, it didn't work out. Okay, I'm going back to my to my family's multi-million-dollar business, and I'm walking back into an executive like vice president position because my family owns this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not even like, I don't even have to be good at this job. It's still mine. Well, you need like, you should at least have like the backup plan. And it's just not just the money, it's also the legacy. It's something that you can like be proud of. It's just like back in the days when like our great grandfathers and grandfathers used to be able to like, you can build a house. If you just build the porch, he was like, hey, like I built this. This is mine. Like my kids are gonna sit on this for years to come. They're gonna play on this swing that I built. Imagine like how much fun your child can have in the company that you built for them. Just run around the lobby. Like, I just think I like Stig is dope. Coco Cheerios said, I'm loving this convo. I'm loving that you joined in. I believe this is your first time with us tonight. We appreciate you.
So welcome. Welcome to the family. Yeah.
Which actually kind of leads us to like our next point, which is ways to support Black businesses. Same way you stumbled upon us tonight, please spread the word.
Yeah.
That is one way. I wrote them down.
Ooh, you breaking stuff.
I broke something in the back.
I wrote a couple down too. Obviously, promoting, the business. Like if you buy something, you take a picture, post it, share it, tell your friends.
Yes, I'm a Black Thoughtz version.
Okay.
I'm gonna wander away from the dirty joke because she's a mother and like I can't just say things like that. Yeah. So mothers be doing stuff too. Superhead got kids. Okay. So one way is word of mouth. Yeah. What I have here is advertising is costly. People get annoyed when they see the guys with the flyer. That is dead true.
Yo, that's a fact. I'll be like, no thanks.
There's not one person like with a flyer that I just be like, hey, it gotta have like something delicious like on the flyer for me to turn back and be like, you know what, I'll take it.
No, even then I don't care.
But it costs you nothing to like tell a friend, tell a neighbor, share on Facebook, give a like. These things cost absolutely nothing. If they're on Yelp, go on and give like a great review.
Positive reviews are always important.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I think now, especially, like, people read reviews before they try something, before they go somewhere. I was never one to really read reviews until my friend of mine, like, would tell me, like, he would read movie reviews, he would read restaurant reviews, and I'm like, why?
Yeah. I almost flew Spirit one time, and then I read the reviews online.
Oh, I saw the memes.
Bro. Yeah, but see, even with the memes, that's just the power of the internet. Just the power of, like, word of mouth that we have in today's day and age. Our brother Nick Shen said, I once got a free Chappelle ticket off the Flyer Man in Manhattan. You gotta listen to who they got before they walk in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have learned that reviews are key living Sagittarius, so.
Yep. Reviews are key. Yeah. There are also many apps and websites that you can use to find local Black businesses and get the reviews on and get reviews from them.
Oh my god, I had an app and I don't know. Oh, maybe? No, I don't know where it is. I don't know where I had it. If I find it, I will definitely link it.
What's your next tip that you have?
Hold on. My boyfriend is self-employed and reviews keep his business going. Yeah, yeah. Especially, yeah, for people like that. So I'm happy that his business is going well. Power to him.
If you don't mind telling us, what does he do?
He's a barber.
Oh, he's a barber. Yes, especially as a barber, like reviews, like yeah, because people want to see like, so we want to like, I want to feel like, hey, how did I felt when I left here? Hey, the Clippers don't burn. Like
he's
like,
gentle. I don't know.
Yeah, he's gentle. I did not have to wait 2 hours for my haircut. He was, hey, like he
I
didn't.
think he's throwing shade at me because I be waiting to get my hair done.
No, I'm talking about barbers in like general. Like barbers, like hey, he didn't go get a lottery ticket while I was sitting in the chair. Like yeah, like reviews for a barber are like serious.
Purchasing products. Like if they have like merchandise, like apparel, accessories, like purchase, you can always buy.
Yeah, so patroning their business.
Yeah.
To piggyback on that, actually the first thing I had down here is actually choosing to shop Black owned, which is making that conscious decision to shop Black owned first, or at least as much as you can. Where it's like, so I read like earlier, like a lot of like Black restaurants suffered through coronavirus because they had to rely on delivery services like Grubhub, Postmates, things of that nature, which actually takes a profit, takes a large cut of the sale price or the profit for their services. And I know it's like it's dead hard since we're not supposed to like go out, but imagine like how much money you can save this restaurant or just make that restaurant if you would have just gone there yourself and just got it. Or at least these restaurants do in fact have like curbside pickup. If you have a car, you could have just went there. Or if you're not lazy and you know the restaurant's like 2 blocks away, you could just walk there.
Yeah. But
you have to make that conscious decision to shop Black owned, where it's like I say the EP. Models, we all knew Models was going out of business in the beginning of this year, before coronavirus started, and then it opened back up like around like the start of the summer. Black Thoughtz and Renowned Sportswear started at the same time and like the same week. Also, like I openly admit, like hey, like Jason hitting me up and saying like, hey, get out there and do your thing, and then like seeing Andre like so young doing his thing, like it motivated me to just start get off mask doing what I'm doing. Models has like everything on clearance. She could have made the decision to just like, hey, I need new sportswear, I'm going to Models. No, that's a conscious decision to say, hey, I'm going to support my friend. That's the thing that we need to do. Where it's like, hey, I know it's a 5-minute walk longer. There's a Black owned supermarket down the street. I'm going to go there. There's a farmer's market. I'm going to go there instead of like this supermarket. Maybe, hey, I'm not gonna go to the chicken spot tonight. I'm gonna go to the West Indian spot. West Indian spots be having good ass fried chicken too. They have some good ass wings. I'm just throwing that out there. It's a little bit of a rant, but you have to make you have to make that conscious decision to choose Black owned.
Yeah. Coca Cheerios said, "I'm going to say something that's gonna piss people off. Paying full price.
That was next. Sorry.
Even if it's your friend's business, don't ask for or take the discount. Support them fully." I actually have a friend who did that. Like, their friend came out with a shirt and they bought the shirt, and they're like, "Yeah, that's my friend. I'm gonna buy the shirt. I'm gonna pay full price because that's what we do. We help each other out."
Yes, that's literally what I had like next. And I'll show you the EP. Just like, hopefully, she don't have to, but hopefully she would lie for me. It's like, I never snitch on you, daddy. I hold a brick for you, daddy. Don't look at me like that. You gotta hold my brick.
Would I ever say that?
You should. That right there, it does say what?
Oh yeah.
Pay full price. Yeah. I would not put her on the stands in court for me. Just saying. Coco Cheers, I love that song. City Girls motivate me so much. I get it. I shouldn't, but I do. Yes, you should.
What?
She loves that song.
Oh.
I never snitch on you, Dad.
I didn't know that song, so.
Yes, she does. She's a closet ratchet. Don't listen
to City Girls.
Don't listen to her.
I don't listen to City Girls. Okay.
She has it's not on brand. but what I will say, so like pay full price.
Yeah.
I do not care.
Like when we drop our merch, pay full price. No, I'm kidding. No,
I do. I do not care like who it is. Like when they have if you want a sale price, wait until they have a sale.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, so like all like the sisters saying what I need to say. If you're paying full price for everything else that you indulge in, pay full price supporting your peoples.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Yes. I'm saying like for any business owner, whether they're providing like a product or they're just providing a service, asking them to discount their product or service is asking them to discount themselves. Or it's like, my time is money. The effort that I put into this is money. At the very least, any any business.
I hate that whole friends and family discount. No,
yeah.
Bro, I'm trying to make a living too. Pay me.
I literally had an event. You gotta read these.
Oh,
I literally had an event last weekend, and because they was family, they thought they was gonna lowball me. Nah.
Yeah, I'm making my living. Help a sister out.
Yeah.
Like,
I do business with like my family too. I just pay them. Where it's like I said, like asking them someone to discount their products or their services, asking them to discount themselves. Where it's literally just like, at the very least, anyone out there hustling, whether legally or illegally, shaking my head, but not all the way. At the very least, they're just trying to pay their bills. They're not gonna give you a discount at like Con Edison. I gotta pay these bills, so I am doing this to just like get by and like survive, and it's just like same way you are. So like I can't just be out here just giving you
like freebies.
I think black people are like, we're just as a whole, we're done with the low. We're done with the freeze. We cannot do it. At the very least, like if you're like a loyal customer, that discount's gonna come to you without you even asking for it.
Right. You hear that, Andre? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yes, Dre. Yes, you heard it. You heard it here first. She wanted us. You heard it here first. Hey, loyal customers get a discount. I'm just saying. Hey, you don't have to buy us a baby shower gift. But I was gonna say. So even like I subscribed to like a service from like one of my friends. This is like last year. So where it's just like, it's just loyalty like between us, like between men, like between friends. Where it's like I went to him and like just man to man, like I'm like, hey, I need help with something. I was coming to you because I know this is what you do. What's your rate? What's your price? And he told me, and he like came back, he was like, oh, what can you afford? So I gave him like my budget, and he was like, nah, that's low. That's not usually what I do. And me, I was going to leave it at that. Like, okay, cool. I'll find something else. Because I wasn't going to ask this man to like discount his business or his service or nothing. Right. He said, no, I got you. Let's work on a different plan. I got you though. Like if you're like a loyal customer, at the very least like a loyal friend, a loyal member of the community, discount's going to come to you.
Yeah.
Like, but like, hey, like if you want like a discount, if you wait, like, if you need a sale price, wait for the sale. Don't like that. Like, wait for the sale.
Like, Coco Cherry said, I always pay my friends for their services the full amount. If they throw in something on top, I appreciate it, but understand people have livelihoods.
Exactly. Like this. Like I said, like this is like our livelihood. At the very least, I am just trying to pay my bills. I feel the like same way you are trying to pay your bills.
I feel like people think just because you're friends or your family, you have that status that's gonna get you something over. But it's like, no. I have a life too. Like I got stuff that I have to pay for, like you said. So I can't give you that special treatment.
Yeah, I forgot, what was I gonna say?
Living Sagittarius said, discounting your skill is discounting your worth. people don't respect the work that goes into being self-employed or having a small business is hard work. That's true. That is really true. I'm not gonna lie though, when I was at Modell's, I constantly had people try and get discounts for something like so minute. Like, dude, there's nothing wrong with this. I can't lower this for you. I can't. Like, this is it. So just imagine us being a small business and they want to get something for like $20 off.
Yeah. Also, I don't even know how true it is. I was thinking, like, in the back of my mind, I think, like, maybe people see you starting your business, they assume that you just have money like that. You're just rich. But it's like, no, like, I'm trying, like, you have to hustle to get rich. And you don't just have to hustle to get rich, you have to hustle to stay rich.
Yeah. Like you guys are saying, Louis Vuitton doesn't go on sale, but people are willing to pay full price for that. But how come they're not willing to pay full price for the small business down the street or their friend?
It's like that's like you wouldn't like walk into like they wouldn't walk into any of these like other owned stores. Have you ever gone to the Chinese restaurant and asked them for a discount? Have you ever gone to the Chinese restaurant and say, "Hey, let me get 4 wings for $3"? What do you think them people gonna say to you? They're gonna start talking a different language and start calling you. They're gonna be back there calling you an N-word in Korean and Laotian. Like, son, like you cannot do this in other people's establishments. Like, it's time for us to stop doing it in ours. Have you ever? When's the last time you went to Ock and like asked him to give you $1 off of bacon, egg, and cheese? No. You're going to take these 2 strips of bacon and you're going to like it.
That's why you get a platter with bread on the side. They give you more bacon.
You make it.
Because if I don't want to eat the bread, then I just give me eggs and bacon on a plate.
How did that work out for you, Nick? Nick said I definitely did this as a kid. How did that work out for you? I mean, I'm interested in hearing this. I definitely want to know this. But, yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Life hack. There you go.
Like you said, it's just spots out frequent. Like, yeah. Back to like, you also, like, have to... Back to, like, the point, like, making the decision to, like... When you make the decision to shop Black-owned, you have to also make that decision to respect Black business.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also, like, maybe, like, since we have, like, other people in here, like, because I know, like, just so I can get this off my chest, like, don't you hate when, like, you're doing, like, whether it's with friends, family, other, you ever, like, have, like, a business transaction and they, like, just try to, like, turn it back into a normal conversation, like, y'all just, like, on the street? And it's usually, like, yo, it's like, hey, like, I don't like, bro, like, if we're having, like, a business conversation, you don't need to call me bro in this conversation. If we're, like, texting and this is about, like, a business arrangement,
professional.
I don't expect to see emojis in this conversation. It's like, I don't need an LOL. Like, I'm not laughing when I tell you what my price is. Like, I don't like, if I'm telling you, like, what my rate is, and it's just like, hey, that's a little high, LOL. My face is, like, straight, bro. But, okay. Nixon said, I like to let me get 5 Dutches but take $1 off because I'm getting 5. It works. See, that's what happens when you are a loyal customer or a loyal friend. Kobe just said, can also say something that will piss people off. Black businesses, your customer service needs to come from Harvard. True. So also, like, let's get into this part. Let's give advice to Black businesses and Black business owners. Kobe said, send me your invoice. Don't make me beg for it. If there's delays in shipping, relay that. If I'm discussing some technical difficulties with you, don't give me attitude.
You know what? Oh no, we're about to end in a half a minute.
How?
I don't know.
Now we're giving advice to help Black businesses grow. And Viacom and the Ghettogram is cutting us off again. But so we're gonna end things here.
Yes, thank you guys so much for joining and tuning in. We hope you guys learned a lot today. Support Black businesses because that's how we're going to keep it going. All right.
And we'll be back to give you guys resources. Peace.